I believe in presenting you with opportunities. And I know that a lot of people always say, everything you talk about is school is school. That's not true. I've got a lot of videos about work. And this video as well is about working abroad. So if you want to work abroad, this is one option that I think will work for you. If this one doesn't work for you, we have to organize a session, a personal one-on-one session for you. But don't lose faith. This video is for you.
Attention passengers, we've now reached our destination. We hope you enjoyed the flight and have a nice day.
All right, hello folks. This is your one and only Waka Waka Doctor. Always bring you the best gist when it comes to travel and migration. You know how we do it on this channel. All we do is share information that has to do with living abroad, working abroad, studying abroad, and moving abroad. If it's the whole moving abroad thing, this is where you want to be. For those who are joining me for the first time, I want to say thank you very much. You're not going to want to miss a thing. You're not going to regret it. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so that you don't, miss any of the action. And those who always send me feedback almost every week, I want to say thank you very much as well. I'm grateful you encourage me to keep going. Two quick things that I like to pass across in all my videos. Say, number one, I am not on Telegram and I'm not on WhatsApp. If you ever find anybody in the comment section saying that you should reach out to them through Telegram or WhatsApp, please, it is not me. Please, it is not me. Another thing is that a while ago, I wrote a book titled Move Abroad by Force. And the idea behind this book is to be able to help you move abroad on your own without the need of any agent, okay? If you want to acquire this book, it's extremely cheap. It's very affordable. If you want to acquire this book, all you need to do is check the description box of this video. The link will be in the description box to help you acquire the book. If you're also looking to contact me and reach out to me, check the description box and you would see the link of how to reach out to me for a one-on-one conversation. Okay? Before we move ahead to the video of the day, make sure you like this video. Oh yeah, now, go like this video before you even watch, before you listen to anything I want to say. Make sure you like this video. Now share the video. All right, have you shared it? All right, we can go ahead. Okay, so the gist of the day. I've always told people that there is no point focusing on 5 countries. There are more than 190 countries in the world, and you cannot just focus on 5. This country has the strongest passport in the world, and it has a variety of ways for you to move to this country. I present to you Japan. Yeah, Japan has several pathways that you can use to move. For instance, the work route, you can move using the work route. You can move through the scholarship route called MEXT, MEXT scholarship, where they basically pay for everything. And you can move through the traineeship program as well. Okay, now I'm going to talk about these 3, okay? And it's going to be a spectacular discussion. So you need to watch this up until the end. The first one I want to talk about is the traineeship program. The traineeship program that I have and is available right now for anyone who is interested to apply is the OIST traineeship. OIST traineeship. As always, any link you require, I will put it in the description box of this video for you to be able to have access to. But the OIST traineeship or fellowship is amazing because number one, everything is free. Everything is paid for. Your flight is paid for. Your accommodation is paid for. You even get bus pass, like everyday bus pass where you're going. Meals are provided, and you also get a daily stipend. So it's an amazing opportunity. You can just go on Google and type OIST Traineeship Japan, or go to the link in the description box and you'll be able to find it. Now, the second one that I didn't mention is MEXT, MEXT scholarship, which you can always find. I've done videos. If you go on YouTube, open your YouTube and search for Waka Waka Doctor, MEXT scholarship. You will see 2 videos that I've done about MEXT scholarship and you can apply for. But this video is about working in Japan, getting a job in Japan. And as always, it's not going to be me. I've got a very, very beautiful woman with an amazing smile to come do justice because she just moved using this route, and I think it will benefit everybody. You want to see? Let me bring her on. So thank you very much for coming to my show today. Do you want to introduce yourself to my community so that they know who you are?
So my name is Amara.
Amara, thank you very much for coming. Simple and short.
Yeah, that's what I need to
Where are
know.
you? Where are you at the moment?
Yeah, I'm in Japan right now.
You're in Japan. And how long have you been in Japan?
Like a couple of months now.
A couple of months. How has it been compared to where you're coming from?
I can't even begin to explain. Like it's amazing. From the moment I walked into Osaka airport, I was like, wow. That was the first thing that came to my mind.
It's
Like
one
the
of the
difference.
most beautiful airports in the world, actually.
Like it's. I was like, wow. It was the immigration process was fast. Everything was just moving so quickly. I couldn't believe it because, back home, I know I would have waited like 5 hours for something as simple. I was like, wow, everything was just going so quickly. I got my resident permit at the airport and it didn't take me.
Oh, you got your resident permit at the airport?
Yes. So when you come into Osaka airport or any airport at all, there's a line for you to follow. So visitors are in one corner, citizens are in another corner, things like that. So I was a visitor, but I wasn't standing in the visitor corner because I am not there to visit. I was there for something else. So there's a part I went to. I showed them my passports. They saw my kind of visa. They told me to go and stand somewhere else. And like in 2 minutes, they called me up to come and get my stuff.
Resident permit. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people have been moving to Japan on the dead low. And the funny thing is that when I started talking, in fact, as a whole, when I started doing this whole move abroad thing and let's Japan, there are alternatives. It doesn't have to be Canada. It doesn't have to be the US
Exactly.
thing. I got a lot of abuse. A lot of abuse because people started by saying, why would you be telling people to go to this kind of country? Why would you be telling people to go to this kind of country? The countries you have to go to, US, Canada, Australia. And I'm like, well, not everybody can afford these countries, number one. There are 196 countries in the world. Why are you fixed on those 5 or 4 countries? Why? Let people choose where they want to go to. Nobody's saying you have to be in these countries till the end of time, but it can be a starting point from where you are. And Japan was one of those countries I was telling people to go, and I know I got a lot of, why are you telling people? But now I've noticed that.
Even right now, I still get like when I told my friends that when I told some people that I was relocated. So everybody, because let me back up right now. I wanted to go to Canada actually. I wanted to go there, but I tried and it didn't work out. Right. So my friend in Japan was one of the guy, did not come to where I am. You know what's good for you. So I was like, kind of considering it. So I started doing some research, like like when you have kids there, how's it like? How is the life there for families that want to settle down there? How is it for work? How is the work-life balance? Things like that. And it was just checking off like on my list. Everything I wanted, I was just seeing it there, like good healthcare, safe. And I was particular about, I'm a person of color, as a Black person. I was thinking, how do they react to Black people? Is it like police brutality, like as in the US and all those kind of places? And I wasn't just seeing those kind of information, right? I wasn't seeing anybody saying anything like, a police harassed them because they were Black, or things like how it happens in the US and all those kind of countries. So I just felt like this is a no-brainer. I'm going to Japan. It has to be. I am not going anywhere else anymore. So yeah.
And people need to also realize that there is no perfect society, right? There's no place that is 100. But the thing is, economies, societies differ from one another, and you have to always find that place that suits you. And that's why I always say travel is a personal journey. Now, Japan has worked for you and many other people. It might not work for me. Saudi Arabia was what worked for me, right? Saudi Arabia. And it catapulted me to other places that I've been to. That's fantastic. So what are the various routes? For people who are interested in moving to Japan, what are the various routes that are available for such people?
Okay, so to be honest, because Japanese is a non-English speaking country, like 95% of the population speak Japanese, right? It's going to be hard to see like various, routes like unlike other countries that you can go through this visa, through this visa. From what I've researched for Japan, the best two ways to come here is through a work visa and through study, right? So in that study aspect, you can come in like for masters, undergrad, for English speaking schools, right? No, the universities speak Japanese, but some courses are taken in English. So if you're lucky, the course you want to study is in English, good for you. But if you want to do things like, medicine, things like that, may not be possible because obviously they're going to be speaking Japanese, right? Because they're hoping the person is going to like
Mm-hmm.
take care of the patient here and him. So that and then language school, study Japanese for 1 year or 2 years. So when you study 1 year or 2 years, then you can like, transition into other jobs. And because you can speak Japanese, it's going to be easier. So let's say you want to go into medicine or you were a doctor before you came to Japan, it will be easy for you to transition into Japanese medicine because you can speak Japanese now. Do you understand? So, and that, apart from that, you can also come through work visa. But this work visa is not a lot. Like you can't find like care worker, you can't find like factory, things like that, because again, they do not speak English. So unless you speak Japanese, you woke up one morning, you can now speak Japanese. I don't see how that's possible, right? But if you want to come under the work visa, you can come through like instructor visa, where you're an assistant language teacher, ALT, you're teaching Japanese students English. You're assistant Japanese teacher to teach English Japanese students because
Okay.
Japan wants the citizens to now speak English. So they're trying their best to, incorporate a little bit of English here and there in their syllables and curriculum and all of that.
Wow, fantastic. So which route did you use to move to Japan?
So I came here on an instructor visa, right?
On
So
an
yeah.
instructor visa. So that's the ALT visa.
Yeah.
How long did the whole process take you?
Honestly, it took me from when I got the job to come here or from when I first started the whole journey.
From what, tell us both, when you started the whole journey and when you got
Okay,
the
so
job.
I started job hunting in February and I got the job in May 21.
You started February of this year.
Yeah,
You
and got
got
the
the
job.
job May 2021. Wow.
Yeah, then I did
Okay.
my visa and about a month later I was in Japan.
You were in Japan. So the whole process took maybe like 6, 7 months.
Yeah, it did.
Now talk us through the step-by-step process. For people there are people who are going to reach out to you, obviously, but for those who might not be able to reach out to you and want to do it on their own, can you describe to us the step-by-step process involved in getting the job until you apply for the visa and then move to Japan?
Okay, so the first step obviously is to get a job because that's you're coming on a work visa, right? So you first of all apply for this job. It takes a series of back and forth. You apply for different jobs, different companies. There are like different companies here in Japan that hire, their job is to hire English people, English speaking people to come to Japan and be teachers. It doesn't matter what you study in school, as long as you have a BSc, you can
It
speak
doesn't matter
English.
what you studied.
Yes, I'm a lawyer in Nigeria. I was called to the Nigerian bar, I was practicing. So I had to give up all that because I know I can't practice law here in Japan. I don't speak Japanese and I don't know Japanese law. So it was either that or either that or stay back in Nigeria or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Like it's not that deep, okay? So so I had to like give that up. So that you apply for a job, right? Then you apply for the job. The basic requirement, first of all, is to have BSc, any degree at all. You can have a master's, you can have a PhD. As long as you went to university, stayed 4 to 5 years in school, you have a BSc, BA, whatever, but you graduated, you can apply. Then you must be from an English-speaking country where English is your official language or widely spoken, right? So Kenyans can apply, Zimbabweans, Nigerians, Ghana,
South
South Africa,
Africans,
things
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, as long as you speak English,
English.
right? Your country speaks English majorly, right? That's when you can apply. Then if you have teaching experience, it's optional, but it's a plus, right? It's optional, but it's a plus. Then there's another thing, the TEFL certificate, optional as well, but I advise people to do it. It's a plus, right? Because it makes you stand out. You're not the only one applying, because Canadians are applying. They're also native English, remember. UK is applying, Americans are applying, Australians, and they speak better, clearer English than we do, right? And they have an edge being white and all of that. So I feel like you have to make sure everything about you is well,
Your CV is
yeah, strong. So when they go through your application, they're like, let's check this person out. Even if you don't get the job, getting to an interview is something, right? So you apply for the job, apply, and then you get a job, right? Or you do interviews. Obviously, some companies do up to 3-4 interviews. My company did 4 stages. So when you're done with that, you get a job. Then they would apply for a COE, Certificate of Eligibility. What this means is like, hey, this person is eligible to come into Japan and work. It's not a license for you to come to Japan. You don't have a visa. You just have a certificate that shows you're eligible.
so it's called a certificate of eligibility.
Yes. They call it COE. Yeah. So they'll do that for you. Usually it takes 2 to 3 months, but depending on the hiring season. I came in at a less, chaotic period. It wasn't so all over the place. So my COE took 28 days, 25 days to come out. But usually it takes 2 to 3 months. So right now is the hiring season because they're hiring for April of next year. So every company right now is back to back on interviews because they want to get everybody. It takes 2 or 3 months, right? So they need everything to be out, let's say December, January, so that the person can start preparing to arrive in March because they'll do a training, they resume school April 1st. Right? So that's the idea. So when it comes out, you now take your COE, they'll send it to you via an email. You take your COE, go to the Japanese embassy website, get their email address, then you book an appointment. You give them 3 possible dates that you'll be available and the time that you would like to come and attend submit your application. Then they'll get back to you, confirm it. Then you go to Abuja with the documents that is listed there for you. Then you go and submit. After 5 days or 6 days, depending, it's usually 5 to 7 days, they would email you to come and collect your passports. Then you go and collect your passport, or you can send a proxy, right, with a letter of authorization that this person is eligible or has been given authority to come collect my passports. Then you go to collect your passport. If the visa was successful or is successful, you would pay 12,500 naira. 12,500 naira, right? But if it's not, you just take your passport and you go home. You don't pay them any money. You don't want your money, just go. So that's just it. And then when it's successful, you pay them, you book your flights. You can book your flight and go to Japan the next day. It's up to you.
That's
You
one of the things why I love Japan.
Right?
Japan won't collect money unless you get a visa.
I feel like why we collect the visa from you? It was not successful. So
yeah.
What are we?
And after all, the visa fee is even very cheap now. 12,500 naira is
exactly. So what's the big deal? I think it's less than $10 or something like that.
Wow.
So it's not really a big deal.
So,
but they will definitely give you the visa because it's a work visa.
It's a work visa.
CEO is coming from immigration in Japan, so it can't be tampered with. They know what they're looking for when they look at it. They know it's a legit document, right?
Okay. I've got a couple of questions, but the first amongst them is, now this is a work visa. Are there any benefits? Did it come with relocation package? Did it come with accommodation? Did it come with any stipend, or it's just work and you are your own? Yeah,
so if it's Korea or China, they usually pay for flights and all of that, but Japan is so strict. Japan is so strict. My friend said they are stingy, but it is what it is, right? So they don't do that, right? But it depends on the company. For ALTs, they don't pay your flight. But maybe you are employed as a software engineer for a big company. They may pay your flights, right? I don't know the arrangement they have. They might find you an apartment. Like my friend is working for an international company here in Japan as an accountant. They pay her rent for her. She just pays her bills, right? Wow. But everybody's not lucky to get that kind of job. Do you understand? Right? So for ALTs, you don't get your flight paid for unless it's a JET program. JET program is just like ALT, but the government is bringing you themselves. The government will pay for your trip. And when you're going back to your country, I think the government gives you back, like returns your money to you or pays your flights back, something like that. So it just depends on the company you end up working in. But for jets, Nigerians are not eligible for jets. So that's out of the question.
That's out of the question. Okay. Most importantly now, how much in total did you spend on this move?
I spent about 6 million.
So does that include flights?
Yes, it includes my flights, includes the things I was buying, includes my flight to Abuja to and fro, includes my flight tickets. The person that someone picked up for me a proxy, so I had to give her money for way bill and then compensate her. Thank you for taking out your time, and I paid for her Uber, things like that. So if I add all of that, then I bought Nigerian food stuff. I bought clothes, work
You have
pants,
to buy
trousers.
Nigerian foodstuffs.
Oh, I had a full 32 kg of food stuff. I wasn't going to play, please.
Oh my God.
So
Okay.
that's
More importantly now, how do people find these jobs? We've talked about the fact that you can get jobs in Japan from anywhere in the world, but people are going to ask now, okay, give us the websites. Which website did you use? What websites are there available for people to apply for?
So I used Gaijin pots, right?
That's
But
the
it
most
wasn't,
popular one, and I
yeah,
love Gaijin Pot so much.
it wasn't working for me, to be honest.
So Gaijin
I
Pots
was,
didn't work for you.
I didn't get my job from Gaijin pots. It wasn't working for me. So day and night I was on the internet, like browsing. I would go to LinkedIn. I would type English teaching jobs. I would go to Facebook. I was in so many Facebook. I think I have to go back to Facebook and unfollow myself because I was everywhere. Even Filipino ALT, blah blah blah. I was just entering there. I was sending messages to like so many people. Hi, I saw your ad. Are you like recruiting people to Japan and things like that? And they're like, oh no, sorry, we don't offer sponsorship. You have to be in Japan. I was feeling bad, but I felt like Canada had denied me visa. I had no choice. I didn't want to go to any country. And when Canada denied me that visa, it kind of opened my eyes. Like I did not want to go and study in the first place. So
You
you
were
know
not
what?
listening
Let me
to me
just
now. You were not listening to me. You were one
what?
of those that was you were one of those that was Canada compulsory. Canada compulsory.
I was crying Canada on my head. My friend was like, "Guy, leave this Canada." I was like, "No, Canada or never." So like it was kind of crazy. So eventually, like I applied. I was searching. I found Gaijin Port, Dai Job, YOLO
Die
Japan.
job. How do you spell die job?
Yes, it's DAI, then job, Dai
Okay.
Job,
Die job.
right?
And then
Daijob.com.
.com. Okay. And then you said YOLO.
Yes, YOLO, YOLO.Japan,
Okay.
YOLO Japan. Then
Okay.
there's another one I used, jobs in Japan. But that jobs in Japan, if you're in Nigeria, you don't have access to it.
You need to use
So
VPN.
yes, you need to use a VPN to access it. There are a lot of jobs there. So how I got my own job, my job was listed in that in Gaijin Port and other companies, right? So when I looked at the company, I was reading about the company when they started. I went to Reddit and Co. Glassdoor, was reading about the company. No bad reviews. Everybody had good things to say about the company. So I just typed on the Google blah 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 .com. I saw the company. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me apply to this company. So I applied to the company. They got back to me after 2 hours that I should send my documents to them.
2 hours.
Yeah, like I sent it the email 12 a.m. Nigerian time, which is probably like 12 a.m. Nigerian time should be 9 a.m. Japan time. So probably the HR was just right on his deck. So and my email just came in. Who knows? So next thing I woke up to pee after 2 hours later, I just saw the email. Thank you for applying with us. Kindly fill these documents below and send back to me and fix an interview and blah, 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 blah. Okay, no, I can get back to me. So I did that immediately and the next I didn't hear back from them. So I was like, oh my god, maybe they ghosted me too. So the next day I got an email saying I should schedule an interview and I should pick the available time they had listed there. I did that. I did the interview after like 4 days or 3 days, something like that. I did the interview and then during the interview, the lady there was like, "Oh, she really likes my energy. She really likes me. That I seems like I have potential. She would like to move to the next stage with me." And that is a demo lesson, like a demonstration. They would send me what I'm gonna do. I should watch a video and replicate that video for them. They want to see that kind of energy and things like that. So I did my demo. About 3 days later, I submitted it. I was waiting. I think they were also doing like a check or something. I don't know, background check or something. So I waited about 2 days, 3 days later, or sorry, 1 week later or something like that, they emailed me again that they would like to move to the final stage of the interview. So the final stage of the interview. The final stage of the interview includes Japanese. There's a Japanese session. And luckily for me, I was learning Japanese. I found my job in April. So I started learning Japanese in February. So February, March, April, I had done like 3 months of Japanese learning. So I was familiar with some.
What app did you use to learn Japanese?
So I used Duolingo. I used Busu, BUSW. Then I used Falou, FALOU. Then I was just on some podcasts. I did a lot of research on
Just
podcasts.
trying to learn as much as you can learn.
Yeah, and I was kind of really committed. I really wanted this, and I did not want to go to a country and be stuck or confused. I wanted to go there and enjoy my time. I knew that Japan wasn't my first choice, but I felt like if I'm going to be stuck with this country for now or for the long run, I want to make the best out of it. I want to enjoy my time. I don't want to come on TikTok and start crying. So, I was like, nothing's going to be like a barrier for me right now. The only barrier I'm going to have in Japan is going to be language, and I'm not going to let it beat me, right? So I was just taking, and I didn't know my company was going to ask for Japanese language. I was just learning it out of my, my free time, fun. So one day in the email, they said that he's going to have Japanese session for 20 minutes or so. I was panicking, but luckily they gave me the questions they want to ask me in Japanese and asked me to memorize it so that when I hear them, I know what they're asking me and what to say. Yeah. So I was, studying. I would go on Google. I would use my Google Translate and type something so that I would hear the pronunciation so that I can, And so I'll record my voice.
Seems a lot of Japanese words come from here. Hi.
Yes. Hi. So and there's a lot of mass in Japanese.
Arimasu, yeah. Arigato, aridis,
arigato, gozaimasu. Yeah. So it was really helpful for me. So it helped me out.
All right, let's talk about one more important thing. Well, 2 more things before I let you go. The first is people are going to want to ask, moving with family is important for those who have single people, no problem. How possible is it to move with family? And then what have you heard about the progression to like permanent residency and citizenship?
Okay, so I researched about that, but let me start from the beginning. You cannot come here with your family. Right? At first. So if you're thinking you want to move to Japan, your wife, your 5 children, you cannot. You have to come into Japan, work, and then bring them over. And why I advise you to work first so that you can submit your pay slip, taxes, and the government will be inclined to reunite you with your family and see that you're not a burden to them or something like that. So I went to the immigration office a few weeks ago, and they gave me a list of things there. And they said, the lady there said she recommends 3 months at least. That if you say 6 months and come and bring your family, fine, but at least stay for 3 months and then come and bring them in. But luckily for me, I have a 3 years visa, so the rule doesn't really apply to me because I'm here for longer. But if you're here for like your visa is like 1 year, you came in 2 months later, you want to bring your family, they might be like, why are you in a hurry? Or something like you're not even sure you're going to be staying back and things like that. So, but if your visa is 2 years, if your visa is 1 year, you can still apply. They'll bring them in. There's no long process. It's just your marriage certificate, child birth certificate, and then photo ID, like a passport photo. Then they would ask you for your employment certificate. When you get employed, you don't get a contract. When you get a certificate, right? So when you get that, plus your plus your pay slip, then you apply for them. So it takes like maybe 1, 2, 3 months as well, depending on the period you're applying. It's a peak hiring season because everything goes through one immigration, hiring, work visa, visit visa. So it depends on the situation of things. It may slow down, but if it's just a normal period and you apply, it take 2 weeks, 1 month, the stuff is out. The COE is out.
The progress to citizenship, permanent residency and citizenship, what have you heard?
I did a lot of research on it and I saw the downside there. And I still put my head. I knew what I was getting signed up for. So it's the truth of the matter, it's not like Canada. That's 2 years, 3 years, Asian countries, their visa, their passport is one of the hardest to get.
Japan is number 1 in the world. It's the strongest passport in the world. So they don't just dish it out.
Exactly. They have about 195 free access to.
Yeah.
They have almost all the countries in the world.
All the countries in the world.
Right?
Yeah.
So they can't just come and say, you stay 2 years and get the passport. If not, everybody will just have the passport. You understand? If not, people will be going to Canada and going to UK, but they can stay 3 years here and get the passport, right?
Yeah.
So Japan is not like that. No Asian countries like that, right? So you have to stay here for 10 years, then apply for permanent residency. But there's a good news. Depending on the kind of job you're doing and how much you earn and your impact to society, Japanese society, you can get it lower. So if you're in a particular kind of, like you're a research scientist, you're in some kind of important, profession, and you've stayed here for maybe 5 years or something. From what I read, you can actually apply for it, and you don't have to stay 10 years to apply for the visa. So it's kind of like based on some situations. Some people stay 12 years and don't get it. Some people stay 5 years and get it. So it just depends on the situation of things. But the matter here, the bone of contention here is that it's not easy.
Not easy.
If you want to wait here for 10 years, it's up to you, right? To get it. But some people don't really care about permanent residence or all those things. They just want to have a better life. They just want to leave their country. Some people don't really care, right? So if that's you, then you're welcome to Japan. But if your plan is you want to get passports, just find another country. Japan is not. Because even after you get permanent residency, you still have to wait and apply to get your passport again. Yeah. So it could take you 15 years. Yeah. So it's not rushing something. You understand? If you want to wait, but for me, I knew that was the what's it called? That was the bad. Japan ticked all my boxes when I was
again, like I said, no country has it's perfect. So this is the downside for Japan.
Yeah, that was the downside.
And
I looked at it and I said, it's worth it for me.
It's worth
it.
It's worth
Better I spent 5 million naira. I was about to spend almost 60 million naira on Canada. Yes, so and be a student. And when I get there,
I always tell you people, I always say it must not be Canada by force.
And I was doing 20 hours of being a student, and there's no guarantee I'll go there and find a job immediately. I don't want to be crying on TikTok like on people I see on TikTok.
There are loads of options.
So if I go there as a worker with my visa and a work already waiting for me, than to go to school, do assignments, they start doing night shifts and all those things. I just thought about it. The passport is not what it is. It's a good thing, but right now it's not that worth it for me.
Okay, so before I let you go, there are people who would love to contact you and reach out to you and ask for assistance. So it's a 2-in-1 question. Number one, how can they reach you if they want to reach you? And number two, one advice you would have for anybody coming to Japan.
All right. So first of all, if you want to reach me, you can reach me on TikTok, or maybe I could put my email, amarachiokoyec. You can reach me on there. Reach me.
Amarachiokoyec.
Yes, OKOYEC.
Okay.
amarachiokoyec@gmail.com or TikTok OMG_Rachi. So in my TikTok bio,
my God, Rachi.
Yes, oh my God, Rachi.
OMG_Rachi. RACH.
Yeah, for my name, Amarachi. Yeah, so OMG Rachi. OMG_Rachi. So there in my bio or my TikTok, there is a Telegram link. Because the question when I posted that I moved to Japan, my DMs were a mess. I had almost 1,000 DMs. I was tired of typing to people, repeating myself, how I use Gaijin ports, how I dip up all over again. It was tiring, and I'm working and I'm busy. So I said, you know what? I opened the Telegram group and I just put the link. So when you DM me, hi, please can you help me? And just say, please go to my link in the bio. This is a very short conversation. So when you come to my page, you can just go to the link in the bio. You just join the Telegram group. I posted the Gaijin port, I posted a process, and I posted a couple of other things. And I even posted websites for those that want to study. I prefer to study. I posted a language school website there for them as well. So when they come in, they read the information and they can always send me a private DM. That's, I'm from Wakawaka Doctor's YouTube channel or something like that.
Thank you very much. So one advice for anyone coming to Japan or who wants to come to Japan?
Well, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything because there's nothing to sugarcoat here, right? I like living here. Sometimes I'm just happy. I'm happy I'm here. I'm happy I ended up here in the first
24-hour electricity, bullet trains, extremely good roads,
I came from Osaka to
fantastic healthcare, no Boko Haram to kidnap you, no headsmen to kidnap you. Nobody's going to ask for ransom. Oh my God, what are you talking about? Strongest passport in the world.
Right. So for me,
In fact,
this
there's no
was really
advice. There's no advice to give if you
not
like.
exactly.
If
That's
you
what I
like,
needed to say.
if you don't like,
It was a really good decision. Even till now, my family, when I call them back home, they're like, because when I got denied Canada
I
visa,
can see the smile on your face now. It's different.
I was crying that, I'm gonna be that because they took 3 months to reply me, or almost 4 months, and I had my proof of funds sitting there for months. My family gave it to me, and it was just there. And the person that gave it to me was like, how far? Like, I was like, don't worry, they will soon release me from the shackles that they kept me in. So, um, eventually they sent me a message that it was denied, and I was just confused. Like, how is it? And I paid my full school fees. I did this. What's going on? My school fees was almost $16,000. That's calculated now with how much
In
currently
Canada.
right now.
Oh my God.
So I was like, how come I tried to appeal into the constitution? They still refused me. So I was really heartbroken. So I called my friend in Japan, and I knew she has always been living in Japan, but moving to Japan has never been on my mind, right? So I just called her randomly to rant, not to tell me about Japan. So after listening to me ranting and screaming, she was like, calm down. You want to come to Japan? I was like, what am I doing in Japan? I can't speak their language. She said, relax. It's not about language. You want to come on? You want to come on? You know what to do. I said, okay, what should I do? She said, that come and be a teacher. I said, but I'm not a teacher. I'm a lawyer here. Why would I? She said, don't worry. That she did NYC. You have to show experience. Yes, I have all those things. She said, you can use it to apply. Just do your TEFL, do this, do that. So I said, okay, thank you. And I just went on Google, went on research mode, and I became a researcher, a PhD holder immediately, and I started researching. So it took me months to get here, and I'm just really happy. Like from the moment I walked into the airport, I just felt this. Like I felt like I was home. Like I was in the plane. Like I was with my family. I didn't go to Canada again. I came to Japan. Even on my TikTok, people comment on my post and be like, what's the data for Japan? Who they go Japan? I'm like, see this person. Do you even know anything? Do you even know who Japan? You hear Japan, you feel like, oh, I'm in Canada, or I'm in America.
Leave
Never
them.
feel like you're in America. They feel like, oh, where is this person? Once I see things like that, I just write like lol. Sometimes I even delete the comments because I don't want
It's their
toxic
business.
energy.
Me, I've even stopped forcing anybody again. Stay where you are. It's not by force.
Do
Stay
you
where you
understand?
are. Let
Exactly.
people who are enjoying the abroad enjoy the abroad.
Do you understand? Like the transport system here is very good. There's literally buses everywhere. There's the train connecting system. The train connects. Like you can't be stranded. Although I've gotten lost most of the time, but it's because maybe I didn't understand the Google Map explanation or something. But this place is really good, right? The life here is good.
It's very good.
I'm not
Look, this
anybody
is going to.
here, it's worth it.
All right, it's been a very long discussion, but a very fantastic one as well.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Amarachi, for being a guest on my show. To everyone who is interested in moving to Japan, I want to take this line. You've heard how to contact her. Make sure you do. I hope this video has helped you in some way or form. Thank you very much for watching. It's your one and only Waka Waka Doctor, and I'm signing out.